What do you know about your family history? Many of us know surprisingly little. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Ancestry is Vice President of Data Science and Analytics, Azadeh Moghtaderi. Good to see you, Azadeh.
Good morning, Fred. Very nice to meet you, and thank you for having me.
Well, a recent survey conducted for Ancestry found that more than half of Americans surveyed can't name all four grandparents. That's discouraging to me. And then very few, just 4% can name their great grandparents. That sounds especially the results about the grandparents pretty shocking.
Yeah, that is true. It was interesting to me, but the good news is we have the census data and so much more to help people discover that about their families. So, in some ways, I'm not concerned about that because we have something to be able to help people.
And we should point out there are some real differences depending on age and even geographic regions in the country. So just this month, as you were saying, the 1950 U.S. Census records became available on Ancestry, making a lot of new information available to people. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so the 1950 census, so our National Archives and Record Administration, or NARA, we refer to it, releases the census records every 72 years. Great moment. The 1950 was being released on April 1st, 2022. It's literally at 10 p.m. Mountain Time that we had access, to the record, and it was an exciting moment, for us. A lot of team members, they came together and be able to, to access that data and be able to make it available for our customers to see and view. But I think just more specifically about 1950 and, the specialty of it, for us, it's twofold. One is that, 1950 was one of the first censuses that used the non-military computers to be able to, do the statistical tabulation, essentially, that was post-enumeration. So that was like the first time that those computers were used to even, do anything for such type of, use cases. But then now if you move fast forward to where we are today, Ancestry used their proprietary AI technology for handwriting recognition to be able to transcribe this data and make it available to our customers as fullest and fastest. So that's kind of an exciting moment for history repeating itself, for the 1950. And again, the richness of a census record, like 1 out of 3 discoveries in the US, we know it's from a census record. So, it's really rich. It's not just names and relationships. Beyond that, like it's about stories, about, your people's occupation, their income, their address. But there is so much more to it than just, people. So census records are generally amazing. And, 1950, if you're born before 1975, you probably find your parents in there. And if you're, before 2000, you probably can find your grandparents in it. So it's a whole new generation of people who now can discover more about their families. So, special moment, for people who want to discover about their family for the 1950.
And you were able to post a lot of this, instantaneously? How did that happen?
Yeah, so the images are available now on the site. There are tools that people can go for enumeration district and find the information. So the images were available, super fast. And they're going through the handwriting recognition tools right now, and with our partnership with Family Search, we're just reevaluating them, making sure that they're in the highest of equality, and we publish them state by state, in order for them to be actually searchable using our common tools at Ancestry. And that's going to happen, super fast. So that's all in progress as we speak.
So the actual handwritten records are on there now that people can go through, but they need to know a lot of information to be able to maybe find what they're looking for. But that's going to change as the handwriting recognition kicks in.
Yeah, we just wanted there are a lot of people who've been waiting minutes and seconds to really get their hands on this record. So we just wanted to make sure that they have the images, the raw images, to be able to explore as they have information. But now we're going to be able to make them searchable by different fields. Like you have the name and last name and occupation and age and gender, and all of it is going to be going through the handwriting recognition. So it would be available for people to be able to search more, in more details, essentially through Ancestry. But if they wanted the raw image because they know certain things about the enumeration district, they can go and explore. It's just much harder, and you need to know something in order to do that.
Tell us, during the pandemic, have we been seeing an increase in interest, do you think, in genealogy and ancestry?
In general, I would say, yes. And I think some of it could be, related to the time it takes, because you want to be able to just, explore and dig in. And it may require some time and commitment. So, some of that is definitely observed, because then naturally people were at home and had more time. And then also I think that just the nature of, connection to family, during that pandemic time, and it brought a different layer essentially to everybody's life. And I think that recognition also naturally creates interest in, appreciating your family and wanting to know more. And so there are, I think, multiple layers to this.
And of course, the work that you do, that Ancestry does in providing the tools and the technology to put together a family tree can be amazing, because the data in your tree can come from many other people's work that have worked on your family, that you may not even know those people, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think there are two layers again into this, two stages essentially. One is about what other people do, and the information, if that's public, then it could be served to others and they can use it to build their family tree and discover. But also like the investments that Ancestry has had over the last 20 years in bringing a very nice, diverse set of records, over 30 billion that we have today across birth, death, marriages, census. I'm just trying to remember, immigration,
Military records,
military, call it. Like there's just amazing set and diverse set of collections that you could use to really kind of discover. So a lot of things is for you to really consume and discover about your family, and then also be able to actually tell stories, which is actually interesting, because we had some surveys running that said, about 66, if I'm not, mistaken, 66% of, people who participated in a survey, they said they wanted to know about their family. And over half of those people said, I care for stories. I want to know what life was like for my parents and grandparents, for grandparents like and my ancestors, in the past. So that richness and the combination that platform, creates for people to be able to discover and have that diversity of information and richness to be able to tell those stories is just so unique and so special.
And the DNA aspect, if people choose to do that, brings a whole new dimension into this, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. As long as you participate and want to participate in getting your DNA matches, and then if you connect it to your family history and the trees that people have, tied up to that, you would be able to just, have potential cousin matches and others that a lot of people who are into family history, they contact them, they discover a lot of information. Sometimes you can partner and, work together. This is another aspect of the platform that actually also allows you to share and collaborate. That essentially you could just, work with that person to just say, tell me more about this, distant aunt or grandfather or whoever that was, to really kind of learn more about it. So, this is just about that collaboration and the partnership that people create offline through those messages with their DNA matches that could also help them discover, richer and deeper information about their family.
And it can also verify, correct? That if you think that, okay, that sounds like it's probably a great grandparent or another relative, the DNA can really verify it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always about, you just get it in a record, you felt good about it, you did some research, it makes sense. Well, let's just say that a distant cousin tells you that it's also true, and they independently figure that out is also like reassuring, definitely. And to make sure that two people sort of came to the same conclusion.
So how long will it take before all of the work is done? The handwriting recognition and the AI work is done, that people will be able to search through the 1950 census records?
So we are going through them as fast as possible. We are partnering, we are handing off our data to family, search, and their volunteers are working on, quickly validating, the transcribed information, making sure it's okay. So we just want to really have the highest quality, to our customers. So we are working through them as fast as possible, and we're going to publish them state by state. So, stay tuned. We don't know exactly the exact dates, but we are moving through it, and we feel very comfortable that it would be available quickly.
Terrific. And for more information, the place to go, I assume, is ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com. Please go and check it out. /1950 census.
Azadeh, Moghtaderi, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.